Hello, how are you? My name is Matthew. You are in the moment late night, 11:30. Here we are, 24 hours and 30 minutes away from a brand new year. We'll talk about some New Year's Eve festivities that I'll be participating in at the end of the show. Just in here real quick. It's been some time, 11 days since the last show that I did. And just as per usual, just observations, things that I've seen over the last 11 days that I'm going to share with you. Hang out if you'd like. I know it's late. I wanted to do this show. This will be the last show of the year. I definitely will not be behind the camera tomorrow night. Just too much going on. And I don't expect you to be catching me live tomorrow night either. If you're watching this at your leisure, I appreciate that. Okay, so let's talk about the weather. This is something that I like to do at the beginning of every show. As you know, I do focus quite a bit, quite heavily on the unhoused here in the peninsula area. I don't really know the situation outside of the HRM. I'm sure it's exactly the same here. And I'm going to talk about the encampments and what's happening here, just what I've seen here in a couple of moments. But the weather, it's cold out. It's winter. I would like to know your thoughts on the month of December. How would you grade the month of December? I know before December started, I was just doing some research into the Farmer's Almanac, just trying to get a grasp on the long-term forecast. And I must say, the forecast, according to the Farmer's Almanac, was pretty spot on for the month of December. We'll see how January unfolds as we'll get into the month of January on Thursday. So this evening we're looking at -6. Tomorrow looks like a mix of sun and cloud, chance of flurries. Tomorrow night, the end of the year, we're looking at -5 again, chance of flurries, full on snow in the forecast for Thursday night. So flurries and a mix of sun and cloud over the next few days. Just looking at my notes here on the computer. So if you see me glance to the right, I'm just looking at some notes. How did you make out in the weather yesterday? I was working at the art gallery. I did leave the house a little bit early. I knew that the rain was in the window area of about 2 o'clock, and I've depended on the Environment Canada forecast for a number of years. I follow the weather even more closely now, and I must say they are pretty good with their accuracy and the time frame for which they say the rain is going to show up. So precipitation started to fall about 2 o'clock, and in the Halifax area, at least at the art gallery, by 4 o'clock. By 4 o'clock, it was ice. We had staff leaving the art gallery at the end of the workday, and it was just sheer ice. So how did you make out yesterday? My story from yesterday, I saw lots of pictures of vehicles off the road, multiple people telling other people, if you don't have to go out, don't go out. Now, I will say, I'm just going to quickly talk about the transit system here in Halifax. I'm going to give it a C minus. I'm just going to start off by giving Halifax Transit a C minus right now. And the reason I say that, the app that they provide is not accurate. Buses just seem to come and go whenever they please. When I was leaving the art gallery tonight, I'm literally across the street from the terminal station on the waterfront, Lower Water Street. I had 2 minutes to get across the street. I crossed the street in plenty of time. The 29 bus was not even there. So the 29 bus just drove in, drove out, and left passengers behind, which means I had to walk up to Scotia Square, another half hour of being in the cold. And for the bus drivers, I don't know what your policy is, but if you are out of service and you are getting ready to start your shift at Scotia Square, like the 84 bus, in this weather where people are outside, they don't have protection. Some of the bus shelters do have heaters, but sitting 40 yards away from your next group of passengers, sitting in a warm bus by yourself, instead of pulling up to the bay and letting people on the bus to get them out of the elements. I don't know what the policy is. I know it varies from bus driver to bus driver, because on that same route, there has been a bus driver that will pull up 8, 9 minutes before he even leaves because it's cold out. Show a little humanity. One final thing, and again, this is why I'm giving Halifax Transit a C minus right now, and this is my own personal experience. Last night, catching the 29 bus on time from the terminal station down there at Lower Water Street by the Tim Hortons. When the bus pulls in, it's got snow plan. So I already know that the route to get me home is going to be altered. I know that the 29 bus is not going to continue to go down Barrington by my place. It's going to go up Devonshire Drive, which is exactly what it did. By this point last night in the bus trip, because of the weather, I was the only passenger on the bus. So as the 29 bus is making its way up a street that it normally does not go up, I immediately hit the stop to let the bus driver know I'd like to get off the bus as close to Richmond Street as possible. So ding, ding, there is the notice to the driver that someone is requesting a stop. That someone is me, the only passenger on the bus. But instead of stopping at Richmond and Devonshire, he drove all the way to the top of the hill and let me off at the Lawton's Drugs, which means I had to walk back down the hill in the sleet, in the slush. It made zero sense to me. C minus, Halifax Transit as of the end of December. Do better. And I know that you're having free transit tomorrow. And I know you had free transit every Saturday in the month of December, but that freeness didn't start till after 6 o'clock. Come on. Started at noon or something. Come on, 6 o'clock, really? Okay. C minus. C minus. Peninsula walkabout. I'm just going to talk about the tents that I'm seeing. I know that and you know that there are just 2 remaining designated encampments. The one across the harbor in Dartmouth behind the McDonald's, the Green Road encampment, and the one just up the road from me, the Barrington Street, the Green Road encampment and the Barrington Street encampment. Now, I will say, just up the road, there's maybe a dozen or so structures, tent structures, clustered together right there by the bus shelter. The area across the path, underneath the on-ramp to the McDonald Bridge, that's pretty much cleaned up. So hats off to the contractors, and I know the contractors, appreciate them coming in and trying to keep that place as clean as possible. So there's a cluster of individuals in structures right there on the Barrington Street encampment, right there next to the bus stop. But if you're on the path walking into the city, there are still multiple structures down in the woods along the Barrington green space. I don't know how many of those are occupied, if people are using those for storage, but there are still people, obviously, at the Barrington Street encampment and across the harbor at the Green Road encampment. So only 2 remaining encampments. Where's everyone going? Are they going into the shelters? No, because the shelters are full. They are disappearing into other locations where they can't be bothered. On my walkabout, someone has set up a tent right up there at the Halifax Commons by the Oval, just right out in the open. They will stay there until they are herded along somewhere else. And for anyone who is driving across the McDonald Bridge, heading into Halifax, once you come off the McDonald Bridge, you're going up the North Street to the Gottingen intersection. Right off to your right, there's been a tent there for several weeks. I don't know if someone is using it for storage. I can't imagine. Would you store any of your stuff in a tent in the middle of the city? Probably not. So the likelihood of there being a human body inside of that tent at any given point of the day, quite likely. So even though the encampments are disappearing, people are just going off by themselves. It's not always safety in numbers, and I can tell you that there is not a lot of safety within the walls of a shelter. Don't take my word for it. I've talked to lots of people who have just had horrific, nightmarish experiences in shelters. To this day, in my 3 years of advocating, I have never once suggested anyone on the street go to a shelter, not once. And that's a record I plan on I'm just going to keep that going. I will never suggest that. Uh, Switch gears here real quick as we're 10 minutes into this broadcast, my last broadcast of 2025. On a scale of 1 to 10, how was your Christmas? Christmas was nice and laid back here. The month of December definitely got my fill of Christmas movies, Christmas music every day. Got out to the mall a few times, went out and did some shopping by myself. Loved the people watch. Christmas this year, I'd give it an A. I would give my Christmas experience with my small family here in Halifax, I would definitely give it an A. Great Christmas breakfast, gifts, a lasagna later in the day we shared with our neighbor down the hall. Just nice to sit around the table, enjoy some good food, enjoy some good company. Moon got the Minecraft chessboard, so we will be learning how to play chess. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to developing a games night here in this household. Just this past Saturday, Jen and I had the opportunity to go into the city. Went into Scotia Square, had a great chat with the founders of Hugs, Rebecca and Lynn. Had some coffee and just kind of brainstormed, and they were nice enough to give us a dozen hats and like 50 pair of socks. So I have gone and I've put like 4 pair of socks in each hat. So I have like 12 packages that I am continuing to hand out to those on the streets of Halifax. Just a brand new hat and 4 brand new pair of socks. So everyone behind the scenes who donated the socks, who donated the hats, getting those into the hands of Hugs so that they can give them to me so I can hand those out. It's just a fantastic circle of people. I love it. On Sunday, had the opportunity to speak with Mariah. They are behind Feed the Pigeons Films. There was a post up on Facebook here a few days ago, caught my attention. I liked it. They reached out to me. We've had a conversation. In a nutshell, I would love to have them on my Truth from the Booth radio program. They are starting a project where they have put the invite out there to talk with people who have experienced being unhoused and any other circumstances. So that's a project that I'm hoping to be involved in. And Mariah, as of right now, will hopefully be here on the peninsula this Saturday. And I've suggested that I would love to give Mariah a tour of the peninsula and just kind of give them some background on the encampments that have come and gone over the last 3 years. So be looking for that down the pipe. Truth from the Booth. I had a great chat. I don't know if you caught this. This audio will be up on my YouTube channel here sometime within the next 3 or 4 days. But last week, I had a chat with Haligonian, the fellow in yellow, Trevor Redmond. He is now out in Victoria, BC. He left here late March of 2024, over 635 days to be exact, from the Atlantic waters here in Halifax to the waters in English Bay, Vancouver. Had a great 40-minute conversation with Trevor. Earlier, that aired just this past Sunday on Truth from the Booth. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that audio. I have a bunch of pictures that Trevor has sent me, and I'm going to put those together, and I'll put that up on my podcast on my YouTube channel at In the Moment 2025. Be looking for that conversation within the next few days. Conversation I had last week with Jennifer Cameron of Kentville, who's going to be handing out care packages in Kentville. You can hear that conversation right now on my YouTube channel at In the Moment 2025. This is just a personal accomplishment for me. It may mean nothing for you, but I love numbers. I don't know what it is. I love numbers. Last year, I think I surpassed 6 million steps just here in the peninsula. So this is another numbers thing for me. On July 1st, On July 1st, I decided that I was going to do 25 push-ups because there was a challenge. There was like a push-up challenge a few years ago where a friend of mine challenged me to do 25 push-ups for 25 days, something along those lines. So on July 1st, Canada Day of this year, I did 25 push-ups and I continued to do an average of 27 push-ups per day for 181 days. And just before midnight last night on my mother's birthday, I hit 5,000 push-ups. I know it's a 6 month period, but it's just, to me, that's why I had the hashtag accomplished or something like that. It's just 27 push-ups every day for 181 days. Towards the end, like literally my last few push-ups, I could hear the bones rubbing together in my shoulder. I'm going to wrap this up here real quick. Kara, what about 46 minutes? Okay, 16 minutes into this. This is something I like to call saved, and I just went through Facebook before coming on to this show here. Some things that I have saved, and I will put those in the comment section of this show. But I do want to mention someone tonight could be a Lotto Max winner. The Lotto Max draw happened this evening. The jackpot was $80 million, and there were 49 $1 million draws. So good luck to you. What would you do with $80 million? What would you do with $1 million? So the odds of winning, I looked it up. The odds of winning are like one and the population of this country. So it's pretty slim, pretty slim. Okay. Oh, this is another thing that saved. And I found this quite sad. It is quite sad. If you don't have the Humanity Project somewhere on your Facebook, that's something that you might want to check into every once in a while. They put a post up here earlier today, within the last 24, 48 hours. Again, I've been working on these notes for a couple of days, but the Humanity Project put a post up on their Facebook page. There were 37 unhoused residents of St. John, New Brunswick, who died last year. 37 people in St. John, New Brunswick, who were unhoused, died last year. And again, you can do the full reading on it. I'll take that post and I'll put it in the comment section of this show. Okay, here we are. Winding down, coming up on midnight, just over 24 hours remaining in 2025. Use it wisely. This is what I will be doing tomorrow night. There's all kinds of things to do here in Halifax, and you don't necessarily have to be in Halifax to have fun. You can be watching the World Junior Championship tomorrow night. Canada is playing Finland. That's a 9:30 Atlantic time tomorrow night. Canada, Finland. It's the fourth game of the round robin. I think, I want to say they've already made it to the semis, but I don't think they do that anymore. I think you have to definitely go to the quarterfinal. I could be wrong, but Canada is definitely in the playoff round. So we got hockey. We have the final episode of Stranger Things. Can't wait for that. I'm so glad that I went back in late November, all of December, and watched all of Stranger Things from beginning to end. The final episode tomorrow night. Cannot wait. It is on Netflix. So that's your second thing to do. And if you are here in Halifax, well, from 11 o'clock to 12:30, there'll be a big New Year's Eve party at City Hall, Grand Parade Square. There'll be live entertainment, fireworks at midnight, and it will be televised. So if you're not physically here in Halifax, join the party beginning at 11 o'clock. That will be brought to you by Eastlink. One final thing. If you are on Facebook, and you probably are because you're watching this right now on Facebook, is it just me, or has your Facebook been completely overtaken with American politics? I've never seen more posts from Republicans or Democrats or anyone else that has anything to do with American politics. It's really become unhinged. I've never sent so many laughing emojis than I have in the last couple of days. Like it's beyond delusional post. They're just bots. They're just bots, just rage bait. But I'm sure that may be the case for you. We do have the midterms coming up south of the border here next year. So it's just really noticeable the American uh, political posts that are on my Facebook. Just crazy. And you can't block anything. You try and block it so that you don't see posts from this particular page. It always gives you something went wrong. So I know it's bots, but again, some of the some of the stuff that they're coming up with is just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Okay, that's going to do it for me. We are 9 minutes away from midnight here in the Halifax, Nova Scotia, Eastern Canada. That's a lot in case someone's watching from, the backside of the moon. Okay, that's going to do it for me. Enjoy the rest of your night. We will see you. We'll see you next year. My name is Matthew, and you are currently caught up in the moment.